I was able to practice with young children that came in, which was very comforting for me. Like, even though I was kind of scared, being able to talk to the younger ones that are coming in gave me some comfort.
It has impacted my comfort level with the language through, just speaking with the native speakers. They really help you and correct you and encourage you almost. They're really glad that you're learning their language. They feel very proud of that. And so it makes me want to learn it even more.
Previously, I was very comfortable with my level of understanding. As I know French, understanding Spanish was easier for me, and I had a lot of listening practice, but I didn't have a lot of speaking practice and didn't have a comfort level necessary to just enter spontaneous conversations. So that experience with volunteering put me right in the middle of that situation where, like, I have to speak Spanish now with these people, and there's no other way. There's nobody else behind me helping me with it. So I had to rely on what I know and kind of bring all my knowledge up to the front. And it all worked, and I felt like, okay, I can do that.
My service learning experience provided me a unique opportunity to practice Spanish translation from Spanish to English and English to Spanish. I learned a lot of new words around the area of construction because I translated a document that was a proposal from El Salvador, and it was translated from Spanish to English. I also assisted with the translation of English to Spanish that was about removing water from lead from water. I learned a lot of new words.
Not only learned grammar, we also learned a lot of different aspects about the culture, whereas like how the grammar is used and how it augments how people speak in different countries. And I thought the opportunity that I did, especially learning about the dance and theater aspect, really helped in that we were able to learn about how the culture is reflected in different countries.
Well, I think they are like the Africans in general. Like they are really, they really like form a bond each time. So every time you could see little groups. So they're really interesting and alive and lively and everything. So it was really interesting.
When my parents gave birth to me, they were living with my grandparents actually and were on welfare. So obviously they were not quite at the top of the world either. And it was really interesting seeing these families and thinking my family was in that place and that I was in that place. Because I've always kind of thought of myself, I'm a middle-class kid. I've been raised, in a suburb of DC, living in a middle-class house and with my family, and it's just been very kind of normal. But to think that, that's part of the community, and that's part of where I've been, and that's part of my history, and that those people are just like me, too.
La cosa más importante que yo aprendí haciendo mis servicios comunitativos fue que el hecho de que llegan muchas gentes y ver que tienen una gran necesidad de comida, y yo siendo latina y que vengo de un país que es pobre como el de todos los que llegan ahí a buscar comida, me da tristeza porque este es un país bien grande y tiene muchos recursos.
So the most important thing that I learned about myself through my service learning experience was definitely a responsibility that I have to help other people with the knowledge that I have, and now with my ability to speak Spanish, I found that there was just such a need for these folks who were bright and committed, and they just simply couldn't communicate with their employer or the person who was going to give them their driver's license. And as a semi-Spanish speaker and definitely an English speaker, I find now that I really want to continue to help and go to another place where I can use those skills and help people who really, really, really need a chance. I would love to continue to volunteer, and when I transfer to American University in the fall, I'll definitely continue to pursue volunteering projects. And this summer, actually, in July, I'm going to go visit Honduras with a church group, and we're going to be building beds for children in the pueblos outside of Roatan. So that is going to be so much fun.